Hello and welcome back. We're here in Kosovo to ask what life will be like for its people now that independence has been declared. For many Kosovars, achieving independence hasn't come a day too soon. They've been waiting for this and working very hard towards it for an incredibly long time. Now, you might think they can now sit back and take it easy. Well, they can't, because the hard grind, the hard work of nation building is just about to start. As we've just seen from our report, they're facing a number of challenges, from a weak economy to a fragile political system and a rather scared, if not defiant, Serb minority. Now, to discuss these issues, I'm joined by Izak Vorgocic, the manager of the Serbian radio station, Kosovo Information Media, KIM. Ana Dilelio, Professor of International Relations at New School University in New York, and Shkelzen Malici of the Express newspaper here in Pristina. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me ask you, what would it mean for this country's future if the Serbian minority continues to refuse to acknowledge the independence of Kosovo?
Well, Serbs are not too happy with the declaration of independence by Pristina parliament, and for the future, I think that they are quite uncertain. Well, I don't think that it will much depend on whether Serbs are willing or not to integrate within Kosovan society.
So, Anna, do you think it's too late to try to integrate the Serb community?
Well, in order to integrate a community, you need to have a community that is willing to be integrated, because, you know, it takes two to tango. And the north part of Kosovo has never been really part of this experiment you call it nation building. It really started in 1999 with the end of the NATO bombing. And there has been always a very strong will on the part of the Serbian population of the northern part of Kosovo, strong will not to participate in anything. The Ahtisaari plan, which is part of the package now that comes with independence, does allow for very serious provision for the Serbian minority to be integrated in Kosovo. There are seats set aside in parliament. There are two seats in the cabinet set aside for Serbs. There is a program of affirmative action in place. There are lots of guarantees for Serbian municipalities to govern themselves. So there is really a big effort that has been made, and the mechanism is there in place. Now we need to have this community is willing to participate. And I would like to add one thing. It's very interesting that Prime Minister Taci said something just immediately before declaring independence. He said, "We are one people." We are one people. There's a shift in the rhetoric. It's not just we want to protect minorities. We are one people, and we need to face these challenges together. That's very good in terms of the desire, the willing, the political will of the majority to work together with minorities.
Shkelzen, do you think the offer that was made to the Serbs was one that just wasn't good enough for them?
I think it is the best offer that, I don't know, Ahtisaari and during the negotiation was given to the Serbs in such conditions that they decided, the Western countries decided that Kosovo have to be granted by this independence controlled, but they learn, they listen Serbs what their demands, and they almost everything was put in this proposal. But the very problem was, I don't know, until now was resolution 1244, which is a compromise resolution, which gives to both sides hope that for Albanians that they will finally achieve independence, and for Serbs that they are part of Serbia.
Anna, how independent will Kosovo be under this EU supervision?
Well, it would be, this is what is called supervised independence. So it will be independent. The EU mission here will have mostly powers in the field of justice and police, law enforcement, which is still needed. We have to see how the head of the mission, so the head of the civilian office, will behave, because he will have quite extraordinary power if the Ahtisaari plan is completely implemented. Well, we don't want Kosovo to become Bosnia. We don't want the Serbian community to really split, not just virtually, but substantially from the Kosovo government and create cantons or federation like in Bosnia. There is this danger that they will continue to follow only orders from Belgrade. This depends really on Belgrade.
Shkazan, if the EU head of mission is able to remove an elected official, that's not much freedom, is it?
For time being, for next 26th month, there will be this supervision mission from EU.
Will the existence of the EU in any way assure the Serb minority that they do have a stake in this country?
Yes, I agree with that. And there were some signals from the local Serb politicians that to the Belgrade that it is rather good that EU mission will be present in Kosovo, which assures that in a way that there will be higher degree of security.
Anna, do you think the EU is able to actually build or help build a country from scratch, a country that is so economically weak?
Honestly, no. It fails because you cannot run a place, a country, with an international bureaucracy that is unaccountable, that enjoys immunity, impunity, and it doesn't have anything at stake in the country in which it lives. And the government needs to actually be freer to pursue its own goals, to develop its own plans, to fail, to be held accountable, so to be sent home and to have an opposition in order to really have a functioning normal state.
Shkazan, do the people of Kosovo know that?
This mission will be different. They have no administrative tasks. EULEX is most kind of mission which will help mostly gives help in very specific areas in which we need to have how to say European experience, because we are still in phases of...
But the EU doesn't have experience in this. It's building a country literally from
No, we are now copying, for example, European laws. We are still missing many essential laws.
Anna, you're shaking your head.
This.
Yeah, I totally disagree. I mean, that's the big failure of the EU police mission in Bosnia is the lesson that hasn't been learned, for instance. We never learned any lesson. Everyone knows that good police is a police that is tied to the community, that knows the community. International police cannot enforce the law in a place in which they don't know the language, they don't know the custom, they can even understand the cues that they get, the signals that come from the society. They don't have informants, etc. And I can go on and on and on.
Isn't it problematic that this police might actually end up making the situation worse rather than better?
It's more acceptable somehow to have foreign police than local Albanian police. They do not even trust the local Serb policeman. And probably the problem is with not such a good training of the police and very, as far as I know, bad salaries. So there is a lot of corruption in that area.
Well, Shkazan, that doesn't sound like very promising to have a foreign police or a foreign body within this country.
I see it as a temporary solution. It is not permanent.
Okay, when we say temporary, do you have an idea of how long the EU mission will stay in this country?
The first mandate is 26 months. But I expect maybe they will stay a little bit more. 3 or 4 years.
It will be like Bosnia.
Not more.
Bosnia was supposed to close down last year and it didn't close down because they were concerned about Kosovo, because nobody really can keep that country together.
And how long has Bosnia been going on for?
Since '95, since Dayton. And actually, UNMIK, the current international administration, has 1 year period review. So every year it is renewed by the Security Council. The EU mission that has this unfortunate name of ULEX, is going to, it has a 2 years review period. So every 2 years it will be reviewed by the international committee, the steering committee. That is an international committee. So actually it can go on, but 2 years by 2 years until something happens.
Shkelzen, are you writing this in your newspapers? Are you telling people that this is what most probably will be happening to them?
Yeah, I'm writing.
You're telling them that possibly this
This
supervised
no.
independence
No,
is
but I expect
more
that
supervised than it is
it will not
independent?
last as in Bosnia. We already have 9 years of protectorate. Now it is something different, and I don't see this mission as protectors, but they are more, mission which will give support or help in different fields, and not to run over Kosovo.
Thank you all very much. Kosovo is only a few days old and it's already facing so many challenges. If you have any views you'd like to share with me, particularly on Kosovo and its future, then I'd love to hear from you on aljazeera.net/English. That's it for this program, and until next time, goodbye.